Well, good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully, everything is working. If you can let me know that you can see me and hear me, let me know by leaving me a message in the chat. And Ken says, hello, Andrew. Hello, Ken. How are you tonight? There we go. Let's see. Let's see who all makes it in here tonight. Richard Napier, I see you. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, all right. Let me grab the bench view, get that ready to go. That's not anything that you have to worry about. That's just what I'm worrying about, getting everything ready to go on the stream. Ken says I can see you and hear you just fine. Perfect. All right. Well, tonight I'm going to be working just on whatever enterprise stuff turns up around here. I do need to do a little bit of work on the bottom saucer of the second Enterprise D. And I do want to start... Let me just switch this over here. I do want to start getting window masks made and applied on the secondary hull here because I need to get first round primer on so that I can start working on getting the arm assembly dealt with. And the arm assembly has gone through a lot of different iterations. I am echoing. Okay. Okay, tell me if that's better. I'm dealing with some new camera setup stuff, and hopefully it's a little bit better there. I'm just going to go back through, just make sure every other... all good? Okay, so if it's all good, I don't have to go through and check. Yeah, the only audio that should be on is my microphone. Sometimes some of the camera audio ends up on even though I select it not to be, and that can cause some trouble. But yeah, so hopefully I am going to get some window masks. I need to actually still create them for this. And there's a good look at the metal piece that goes in there. I've just saw Helios's video today on their 350 Excelsior kit, and they've created a full metal armature for that entire thing that looks really, really well put together. So I'm curious to find out when that goes on sale, because I wouldn't mind maybe picking one up if it looks as good as it does in the video that they shared. Yeah. What else before we get started on working on some stuff? I had a little mishap with one of the top saucers today. I was getting on the second one. I was getting some primer down, and I did it outside. And even though it's Canada, and even though it's September, it was sitting in the sun and got a little hot, and parts of it got a little on the pliable side. So I brought it in right away, cooled it down, and made sure that everything was still shaped properly and still mating properly with the lower secondary hull, lower saucer section part. Had to make a couple slight adjustments. So just be careful if you're painting these things outside. Just be careful how long they end up curing out there in the sun, because that is a issue that needs to be kind of just kept an eye on. Yeah, that happened to me today. That was fun. What else? I am trying to slim down. I am the heaviest I have ever been, and so I am going to try to lose probably about 50 pounds. I know that is not in metric, but for some strange reason here in Canada, for weight, as far as your body weight, we use pounds. So I could stand to lose about 50 pounds. So I figure if I can lose about half a pound a day, I should be down to a decent weight by Christmas. So we'll have to see how that goes. But when you've got kids in the house and a busy, crazy life going on, sometimes the the food situation can be a little bit difficult just to kind of keep your tabs on. I do have to keep an eye on what I'm eating as it is, because I do have a kidney condition that I have to keep an eye on. But yeah, I need to. That's another reason why I need to pull some of this weight off, so that it doesn't create any potential problems for me on that line of things down the road either. So we want to keep everything under control and looking good. All right. Yeah. Dash says, good to know to not put near heat. Yeah, it was only 26 outside, but it was in the sun, and it got pretty toasty there. And I went to pick it up. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to be really careful with this. So brought it in, cooled it down, and got that under control. So yeah. All right. Well, let's pull over. Let's pull the bench up here. And let's throw my face in the corner. And let's go grab a lower saucer section. And I think it's on the bench right behind me. So I need to get this lower section prepared to accept adhesion promoter. And then a coat of primer. So of course I don't have all my tools prepared here. They're laying around the shop from work I was doing on them today. All right. So I currently have all of the window masks for the area around down there. Do I still have? It keeps turning on. All right, so that came back when I went to it. Okay, let me move over to my face cam. I'm gonna. Oh, actually, since I'm on face cam, you don't want double face here. I said we don't want double face. Let's turn that off. All right. Let me go into my settings. No audio. Oh. All right. I'm going to have to reposition this camera all over again. Sorry, I'm learning a really cool new program for phone stream, for using my phones as cameras. So, one of the reasons why there were some technical glitches. I always use at least one phone as a camera. But I managed to get multiple phones attached as cameras, which is kind of nice. Because the camera I was using for face cam was an old Sony Nex VG10. And yes, it is an HD camera, but it also has its limitations. There we go. Let's switch back here, and there should be no... Okay, tell me if you are getting audio bounce back here. Are you getting doubling of audio now? Good now, no echo. All right, let me get caught up on the chat here. Let's see, the Modeler Chronicles would like to know what program it is. I'd like to do this too someday. Well, the nice thing is actually it's not a program. I'm just moving my microphone here and making sure that it stays relatively out of camera there. It's not a program. It is a web-based thing that allows you just to direct video wherever it is that you want. So I'm actually capturing it as a browser. Let me actually just see exactly what it's called here. As a web, I'm just capturing a web browser, and it's sending it over a certain. There's a certain link for it, and I can capture the audio, the video and the audio that way, which also means that I can import video from anyone's phone anywhere in the world and bring it into my live stream if I want to, which is really cool. So that's kind of cool if I want to do interviews and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. And everybody else is just saying that it is good now. There is no echo. Thumbs up. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So I am getting this lower section here prepared for getting adhesion promoter on, and then a gray primer coat on there. So the first thing I need to do is clean up some of the putty work that was on there, and because I'm using the Perfect Plastic Putty, I can basically wash that away. Let me grab a little bit of water. It's nice for using in some of these tight spots because you don't have to try to get sanding something or other in there. All right. There we go. Selection of Q-tips and some water. I'll probably take my glasses off for this. And I might actually get a little bit lower down. Let me grab a chair rather than a stool. And a bit more light. You're not going to be able... I'm going to just turn the face cam off for the moment, since you're not really going to be able to see much of me anyway there. And we're just going to clean this up. Perfect Plastic Putty cleans up so incredibly nicely. And it doesn't take a lot of time. Doesn't take a lot of sanding. Now there are times for sanding with it, but I don't think this is one of those times. Just gonna clean this up a little bit. Run a toothpick along just to kind of grab the extra there. Just a little paper towel to, let me bring my microphone down a bit. Oh. There we go. You'll be able to hear that a little bit better. Let me bring my chat a little bit closer here. And Model Chronicles said I may have missed it. Was this Vallejo putty? No, this is Perfect Plastic Putty. Let me grab the tube here. This stuff right here. There's a lot of times where that stuff comes in super handy, and this is one of those times where it comes in really handy. It's really nice to work on in these tight spots. I've really come to like this stuff. So what's everybody up to tonight? What are you guys working on while you're watching the stream? Got any projects on the go? Any modeling happening? or just some mundane stuff around the house kind of a deal. Here we go. I am still working through in my head exactly what I want to do with the with the support arm in this thing, especially after my experience today with the heat on it. I'm really not quite sure how far I want to take the support on it. Let's see. Dash says worked on my man cave building and now working on a Warhammer kit here. Nice. You're working on getting a separate workspace for modeling. And Ken says done modeling for the day, just relaxing now. But are you ever really done modeling for the day? Isn't there ever just the urge to get back into the shop and do some more work? I do not know how long I'm going to be able to work on both of these kits at the same time, because very soon, especially when assembly starts to happen, space is just going to be at an absolute premium. So get as much of this stuff done while I can, I think. And Dash says for modeling display and relaxing, maybe movie area. Okay, so you're not working on building a workspace then. Got it. Oh, just lost that. You know, no matter how much space you have for building, you end up never having enough. You can always use more space. It's just the way it works out. But yeah, having a place just to kind of like shut down for the day, relax, that'd be nice too. With 2 kids in the house and the house isn't overly large at all, we run out of space very quickly. But I'm grateful that I've got a 2-car garage that I've been able to transform into half of it into a building studio. The other half is really either overflow from my studio because I got a big table set up with stuff on it at the moment on the other side, and storage, because we really just don't have enough storage in the house. Again, as soon as you have kids, your storage needs just kind of explode. All right. If anybody was watching Hobby Time Modelers last night, it was kind of funny that I left and I think it was just a little over 3 minutes later, Jordan joined the stream. It's just perpetuating the inside joke going on there. Dash says I was watching Lou. He cleared out and left 4 spots. Oh, sorry, he cleared all the phaser area out and left 4 spots across. Now I'm wondering if the model melts or sags, if the resin in those areas will be enough. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not undergoing crazy direct heat like it was this morning, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But if you get enough extreme heat for the phaser array to be a problem, it's a problem for the rest of the kit. So don't leave it unattended in a car on a hot day. That would be my advice. Or don't store it in a hot attic or something like that. But if a client is exposing it to that much extreme heat, there's a problem. But it is something to be aware of and mindful of when you're going through the process, because you do want to be careful and have adequate support, which again is why I'm kind of rethinking the arm a little bit, but I'll probably rethink every step of the way until the thing is done. All right, so that seam work cleanup is done, and we'll get a better idea of all of the seam work once this thing has some primer on it. All right, okay, the next thing I need to do is cover this area with tape, and then this part should be good to put adhesion promoter on and then primer on. I'm not doing anything with these windows until after I've got that first coat of primer on. There's no point putting these through additional masking that they don't need to, especially since I'm going to be putting the solar res glass in behind these windows, just because of the nature of those windows and how they are designed in there. All right, let's grab the tape and let's get this area taped off. The one thing I wonder about what Lou is doing there with his phaser strips is how that's going to affect his phaser effect, because you're going to get these dark spots on the phaser effect. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out for him. Dash says, come home after a long day and the saucer's 90 degrees to the Cobra heads be a new Enterprise M, the melty class. Yeah, we want to avoid those, but you're also going to get those issues if you if you put the styrene kits to enough extreme heat too. So just don't expose your models to extreme heat, whatever you do. All right. I'm going to turn this so that it's a little bit easier for me to see and kind of work this tape around the slight curve. In fact, I have some narrow stuff pre-cut here, so I'm just going to make use of this to go around the curve here. I want to protect this this key joint from paint, so that when I'm securing the saucer to the secondary hull on the neck, that I don't have any paint-to-paint connection points. And I may even look at having some physical connectors on this. Again, we'll have to see how that all goes during the assembly phase. Right. I can actually move away from the chair now. I can go back to the stool. And I'm just going to grab a milk crate. Readjust my microphone. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys as I was adjusting that thing. And now I can bring my face cam back. Perfect. All right. Let's see. And Lou said Lou might change his mind later on on the phaser strips there. Yeah, we'll have to see. Let's see. Dash said I put in the comment about it also asking if it might behoove him to upgrade those areas with some tubing as support to bridge those areas for more support to keep from breaking. Yeah, I've had the benefit that I replaced the phaser strips long before Wonderfest. No, not long before, but before Wonderfest. And so that's end of May. So middle of May, I replaced the phaser strips. And they have been, I mean, apart from, you know, the state of the saucer top today when it was outside for too long, these phaser strips have been rock solid. So I don't think there's going to be any problem there at all. Okay. Right, I am taping. I'm taping. And Model Chronicle says, if I remember right, these kits don't have panel lines. Are you planning on scribing or maybe doing something with the paint? Yeah, I have not completely decided yet what I'm doing, how I'm approaching that. But I can't do anything about it until I get the masking set from Wayne at Motion Picture Miniatures, because his masking set is going to really dictate to me where those grid lines are, where the deflector array grid lines are on the kit, because they need to line up with the Aztec details. So I will have to wait on doing anything about that until the mask set comes. And talking about people who are creating things for the kit, if you watched Lou's video today, you would know that Keith at Cosmic Scale Models, just a moment, there we go. Cosmic Scale Models, right there. So you would know that Keith is going to be printing the decals, and Lou has been working on the artwork based on some artwork he got from Rick Sternbach, who, by the way, has handled this kit, this exact kit that's on my desk, and at Wonderfest, and it perked his interest. So he's sent some artwork to Lou, and Lou is working on the decals for that. And so I contacted Keith today, and he's going to be able to get me some of those decals because they are going to be white backed. And there's no point me going on doing the work of creating them if somebody else is going through the work of creating them. Okay, there we go. So as far as I know, this part is now ready for adhesion promoter. And let me just see what the temperature is outside here. Where is it here? It should be about 17 degrees. So if I wanted to, I should be able to open the garage door and actually lay down some adhesion promoter. We will see. That will not be on cam. Although I could take this one because it's running wirelessly. I could take it with me, but I'd probably be having to hold on to it and spray the adhesion promoter at the same time. Let's see. Should have had Rick sign the inside of the kit. Yeah, the only problem is it'd be covered, like it wasn't light blocked or anything like that at the time, so it would have gotten fully covered up. So there really would not have been any point in doing that. All right, let me set this aside. All right, that's been set aside, and we are now going to be looking at more windows. And since this part has not had any work done on it yet, I'm going to use this part to measure up the windows. Now, hopefully, all these windows are going to be the same. But I cannot guarantee that they are. So I will take measurements a couple of times just to kind of see if they are all the same size. So the Modeler Chronicle says I'm up for a field trip outside. Dash says I recalled Lou mentioned the D was wrong on the decals when he was out with Phil. Yeah, the typical. Let me go full face cam here while I chat for a moment. Problem with the decals is that the typical set that you would get for this kit are wallpaper decals. They are inkjet printed. All of the markings are part of the wallpaper decal. So for somebody who prefers to paint and will paint 10 times out of 10 over using wallpaper decals, that is problematic. So I had started going through the process of recreating the decal artwork myself. I was going to have somebody printed up white back with the white toner on it. And that just would have been a lot of work, which I was going to do. But if somebody else who has a graphic art design background is going to go through the effort and accurately recreate those decals and have somebody who can white print those decals, why would I torture myself going through the effort to do that when I could just buy a couple sets from Keith? And Keith said he'll even be able to deal with the custom registry and name for me on one of them, because one of them is not going to be the Enterprise. The second kit is going to be the Enterprise, but the first one is not the Enterprise, so I've got custom name and registry that's going to need to happen. Keith said he'll be able to handle that. Also, there's a potential that Keith at Cosmic Scale Models is going to be able to create for me an accurized photon torpedo launcher on the aft there. Earlier this week, chatting with Motion Picture Miniatures, Wayne over there, and at first his thought was that the kit didn't have a photon launcher on the back there. He couldn't find it. He's got Andy's kit from Inner Lighting that he's working on getting the masking set made up for, and because it's so much more helpful for him to have a kit on site to be able to work with than us trying to send measurements and photographs and fittings and stuff like that across the pond. So he is going to, I'm just distracted. This has goo on it from packaging. Anyway, I digress. Initially, Wayne thought that there wasn't one. I came home and I went searching, and I did find a part in the little bag of parts, and I took a picture of it, sent it back to him, and he immediately noticed that it wasn't accurate at all. So started to think about what I might be able to do. Then I think it was Phil at Sprueverse brought a video out, and he was commenting on how bad the accuracy on that part was. And so he has scratch built over top of the existing part to make them look better. But if Keith is able to create a more accurate part from measurements, photographs, and reference for me, then I think that's going to be the better way to go. And I need 2 of them, right? So, and we want to make sure that they are going to be correct. But yeah, I just got off on a bit of on a tangent there. So let me get caught up on the chat here. Let's see. Well, I don't have much to. Actually, I don't have any to catch up on, so that makes my streaming life easy. All right, let's grab the caliper. Let's grab the lower saucer, lower secondary hull section, and get some measurements taken. So we're gonna make sure this is on. Oh no. Great. I don't need this right now. I think she's out of power. This thing goes through batteries like nuts. All right, give me a moment. I need to find a screwdriver small enough to open this up and then hope that I've got a spare battery somewhere. We won't fill your chat for you to read like poor Ian last night. Yeah, that was interesting. That screwdriver is not going to work. Let me check the kit. Ha! You can tell I'm a modeler. I said kit instead of box because there's a screwdriver specifically meant. Oh, it came on. Okay, I'm going to open this up, reseat the battery because it seems that the battery is just not making proper contact here. So let me just open this up. Oh, what is going on here? Okay. Jostling it around seems to have worked. And I just made a huge scratch on my display screen. Ah! Losing the screws. These things are super tiny. Come on. I shall win this battle. And of course the screws are not wanting to go back in properly. Okay. Use the tweezers. Plop the screw in. Let's get this one tightened down. Hopefully. When I'm doing this, I really feel like I need to say something. First thing that popped into my brain was, I'm Mike from Canmore. This is my dog, Norm. Sit, Norm. 5 points to anybody who knows where that's from. Five Canadian Starship points redeemable for absolutely nothing. Oh, Ken can answer, yeah. I'd be worried if Ken couldn't answer. Okay, this is just not sitting in there properly now. The cover, I wonder if I have it in upside down now. Although it seems like it should go in either direction. This is taking too much of my stream time. But I cannot do the work I need to do if my caliper is not functioning. I really don't want to have to order a new one. I mean, I could probably order a new one. It would be here like tomorrow, but I don't want to spend the money. Let's see. Well, Ken answered. Royal Canadian Air Force. You betcha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Or tell me about it. You betcha. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry guys, riveting content here. Trying to get my caliper back together, which normally is not a big deal. You watch it. I've swapped which direction the panel goes on, which, I mean, it should be... Oh, I guess they're maybe there's a curve in one corner to make sure that you're only putting it on the right side. You bet. How much do you want to guess? This is not going to turn on. Oh, it turned on. Okay, I think we're in business. Whew. All right. All right, let's see. No more random chat to get caught up on. So it looks like that's 5.41. Just sampling some random windows here. Dash says, so were you not a fan of the Enterprise series with Archer? I was. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I was up in arms like everybody else when they canceled it prematurely. Why do you ask? Or I should say, what made you think I wasn't? Huh, I wonder what I did here. There's a few windows that are just filled with goo. That's no good. Nobody likes gooey windows. Ken asks, what kind of primer do you use for that kit? I am using Rust-Oleum primer on it. So I'm thinking that on such a large surface, this stuff's going to need to be sanded down. Gary says, good evening, Andrew, and everyone in chat. And Dash says, I guess because it was a short-lived series and people hated the intro song. Yeah, I mean, the intro song was nothing to write home about. There was actually... wow. This is full of all kinds of gunk. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the gunk in my windows. Yeah, I mean, I didn't detest. I mean, I was never one of the people that was up in arms over the theme song. I mean, I thought it was definitely a departure from what they'd always done, but I wasn't upset that they were using lyrics or something like that. But there was a preview for Enterprise that ran, and it was on, I think it was on, the video was on, like, this was before YouTube really was a thing. I don't even think YouTube was around when Enterprise was launching, but it might have been. I don't remember. But I think I got the video, the promo video, off of the StarTrek.com website, and they used the song Go. I think the song's called "Go Wherever You'll Go," and I think it's by The Calling. And I kind of always thought that that would have been a better song for them to use as the intro, if they wanted to go with something with lyrics. But I mean, it's probably the same kind of situation as the music in First Contact, because the scene, the music in the bar where Zephyr and Cochrane would hang out, they did like Ooby Dooby or whatever it was, but there was another song that Jonathan Frakes wanted to use, but the royalties to get the song were going to be too much, apparently, and so they went with the one that they ended up going with. So my guess is that they got such a good deal on that song because it was written by a friend of somebody or other, and that they just kind of went with it. The other thing that I thought would have made a better intro for Enterprise was Archer's theme, which is the outro music for Enterprise. So I thought that that would have made a better intro song. But all my opinion. All right, let me grab a pad of paper. And a pen. And I'm going to write down 5.41. Now I'm going to check the width. Don't mind me, I'm just bringing it up closer for me to see. So it's going to be I'm going to go 0.85 millimeter. All right. Have to write those down because I will forget if I don't. Let me set this aside. Grab my keyboard. And we're going to switch things up just a little bit here. So, okay, while I'm going to throw this back to Facecam while I am getting my screen set up here. And I'm going to open up, let's see. I really need to get a quick launch for this program in my quick launch bar. Ah, I didn't get any coffee. I should get some coffee before I dig into this too much. But let me pull this up on the big screen so I can see it. And then, oh, I removed my screen capture input. So I just need to create a new screen capture input in vMix. There we go. That's good. And I might actually need to use that slide tonight. All right, let me just check to make sure that this works. And I'm down in the corner. This is the Silhouette Studio. And while I wouldn't use this for any major work, it works great for just doing simple stuff. Let's see. Ken says, Andrew, what Star Trek series would you like to see more of if you could? Oh, that's a tricky one. Which one would I like to see more of if I could? I mean, I think we did lose out on Enterprise ending where it was, because it was just starting to get really good in the 4th season, and I'd love to see more of that. I would like a season 8 of Deep Space Nine. I think that's what I would like. I would like a season 8 of Deep Space Nine, because they just left threads unresolved in that, with Cisco just being somewhere in the Celestial Temple and stuff. I think if I could get more of one specific thing, I think DS9 would probably be it for me. All right, I'm gonna go grab a coffee real quick, so I will just be about 1 minute. Probably hear me stomping back into the studio here. All right. Coffee in hand. Yeah, everybody put their ape costumes on. Somebody suggested that for the Starliner crew. Now their simple 8-day trip is now an 8-month mission. All right. I am going to get some basic masks made. I mean, this isn't stellar by any means, the built-in software, but this is the software that comes with the Cameo. And I think Buck last night was mentioning that the CreepCut software is subscription-based. So if you want to use their software, you have to pay a monthly fee, and I don't like that. It feels like it's run by a group of Ferengi or something. They always say once you've got their money, you never give it back. Okay, so this is going to be 5.41. No, I need to turn number lock on. My laptop's a little weird that way. The numlock is on the trackpad. Okay, what am I doing? 5.41. And the width is going to be, what did I write? 0.85. So that's going to size it up perfectly there, and we are now going to reproduce this multiple times. I'm just going to do one line all the way across the width of the vinyl, and I think this is 12-inch vinyl. So I'm just going to reproduce this across the way here. Gradually get a bigger swatch to copy and paste. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to get rid of that. There we go. I know, it is riveting live stream content. That's what we're here to provide. All right. I recently swapped around some of the furniture, well, some of the workspace furniture in my studio here, and I've swapped out the desk, the kind of counter desk thing I was using in the live stream position with an actual desk that was also in the shop, just kind of over on the storage side. And I am so glad, because I can properly come up close to the table now, put my legs under the desk and get a lot closer to what I'm working on, which is nice. All right, I'm halfway, so I just left this at the halfway mark. I'm going to copy the whole thing. I'm going to paste the whole thing, and this should take us to the end of the vinyl. So let's just run down to the end of the vinyl here, and yeah, I'm just going to get rid of that, and that's going to be it. I'm pretty sure my vinyl cutter is all set up and ready to go. So I apologize if it's a little bit noisy while I do this, but I am going to send that to be cut. And I will take a moment to catch up on the chat while that is cutting. All right, and I might as well go to full screen on this thing now. Let me just make sure that I'm going back to full screen and not to the "I'll be back in a moment" slide. All right, let's see. So Ken says, does anyone else wish they had made the Captain Sulu series on the Excelsior? Yeah, I mean, that would have been cool. It wouldn't be my first choice for additional Trek content, but although having a TV series that is ship-based in that missing era between the Kirk disappearing in Generations and Encounter at Farpoint, that would be really fun to have. Oh, Todd's here. Welcome, Todd. Todd says, it's too loud to hear you where I am at, but wanted to drop in and show Andrew some support. Well, thank you very much, Todd. Thank you. That's appreciated. And I'm sure that the vinyl cutter going off in the background is only adding to the difficulty of being able to hear me right now. Todd is on his travels, so thank you, Todd, for stopping in for however long you happen to be here for. All right, that shouldn't take too long to cut, and I'm just going to make a couple screen adjustments here. Let's see. Let's bring up the. I'm just getting some stuff prepared here. That's going to be done cutting soon. All right. Let's see. Dash says, so what was the worst aliens you thought between all the newer series? Or maybe for each series? Worst alien or worst representation of an alien, because that's a little bit different and would give a different answer. For worst representation of an alien, I would have to go with Discovery. Discovery Klingons. Actually, let me see if I can show you something. It's buried deep on my YouTube channel. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it here, and I don't think I have the original video. And that's done cutting now. Boop doop doo boop doo doo. Let's see. Videos. I'm just on the other screen looking through my videos. If I go to oldest, it's got to be here somewhere. Unless it's not on this channel. It might not be on my channel. It's not on my channel. Is it on the wrong channel? So if it's on the wrong channel, you'll never be able to find it. Let me search. Because it exemplifies my reasoning for my dislike of Discovery's representation of Klingons. Videos, oldest. That might have been a mistake. Aha! Yes, it is on the wrong channel. So, I should. Oh, that's probably playing an advertisement for you. Oh no, audio's off. Okay, good. I've got to wait for the advertisement. My second channel, my alternate channel, my other channel that you guys don't know about is not monetized, but they still play advertisements on it anyway. All right, let me turn the audio on. Oh, it's not going to. Oh. I may not be able to show it because it's not. Let me just see if I can deal with this quickly here. Audio settings. Audio settings. Audio settings. Okay. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to copy the YouTube link and see. Okay, that actually works. But sort of works. Oh, it's actually letting me interact with the. Okay, so I just brought a YouTube link into my streaming software. This is actually kind of cool. They brought a. I brought my YouTube the link to YouTube into my streaming software, and it's letting me interact with it in the preview window so that I can send it. Okay, let's try this. Nuptao kushpa et keles. Nuptao kushpa et keles. Audio back on. All right. Yeah, I did that a long time ago. How long ago was that? That was 6 years ago. Must have been before I actually started my Canadian Starships channel, which would be why it was on a different channel. All right, let me close that out now. And let me actually confirm that you saw it. Did that work for everybody? Did you see the video? Did you hear the video? Did you hear me speaking Klingon? Bonus points for anybody who knows what I said in Klingon. Okay, yes, you did see it. Ken says, any unproduced Star Trek series you know about? I just know about, obviously, Phase 2, like everybody knows about. There was I think the Titans one, that they didn't do. There's been several attempts at putting out a Starfleet Academy one. There was the attempt by Michael Dorn to get them to produce a Captain Worf show. Anything else that I can think of? All right, let me get the masks off the cutter. I'll be right back. I am not sure why, but my black vinyl is not wanting to feed through the back end of the cutter properly so that I can trim it right on the cutter. The white vinyl I've been using seems to be fine. So like I've been using white vinyl for the rim windows because they've got black paint underneath them. Actually, this is lifted up a bit. That might be where it caught. So I'm not sure why the black vinyl is causing a problem when the white vinyl seems to be working all hunky-dory wonderful. So it just leaves me to have to cut it off by hand. It was working for a while. It was cutting on the back end, and then it just stopped again. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, let's grab the lower secondary hull that actually has solar res in it. Let's see. Dash guesses that I said something about glory of Kahless or something. Nope. And Dash also said, I heard Tilly was maybe doing the Starfleet Academy. Yeah, the rumor is that she's doing that, and it would seem that she would be doing that based on what they set up with Discovery. However, there's been no confirmation of that. There has been zero confirmation. Oh, I've still got some tape on there. I need to remove that tape. They've made casting announcements. I don't think that the Mary Wiseman has been announced as cast for it. So the UV light does a great job at showing me all of the 3M magic tape that I missed removing. There we go. Turn that off. Let me remove that comment off the screen. Okay. There are some windows with some gunk in them. What do I have that's narrow enough to get in there? Some magnet wire will do the trick. Let's see. Gun key window there. I just think some resin from when I was drilling out the holes got in there. Oh well. Some of these windows will just be a little more diffused than the others. Oh, that's okay. All right. I'm gonna switch to a chair, which means bye-bye face cam for now. As all you would see is the top of my head. Let's bring the microphone down so you can hear what I'm saying, but you can see what I'm working on the desk. Move some things to give my elbows a little bit of working space. And I'll lay down some masks. Well, I guess the first thing I have to do is just make sure that my measurements on the masks were correct. But I really like having the Cameo here in the shop because it allows me to make masks on demand. Oh, I should, let me just see here. I should put my lighting panel underneath so I can see what I'm doing. That means my lighting panel needs some power. Which means I need to plug into power. There we go. The lighting panel works really well in helping me place the window masks more accurately. Go. Is Todd still here? If Todd's here, Todd, do you know if the 6 foot has rim windows along the edge of the secondary? Is that something I need to deal with? I mean, if it does, I'll deal with them the same way I did the saucer. I know that there are some small windows close to the edge on the upper secondary hull part of the kit. I don't know how accurate those are. I'm gonna have to look at Todd's photos to decide if Here, let me show you why I've got no face cam on right now. This is why I've got no face cam on right now, because the desk is high, I'm sitting in a chair, so I can be closer to the windows. Fun, huh? Yes. Yeah, Todd said he couldn't hear me where he was, so I didn't know if he was still watching or if he just literally stopped in long enough to leave a comment. Fortunately, I do have all of his really good photos to look at. I think too easy. Is that Eric? I'm not good with the names that go along with the YouTube names. Hence why I refused to read out the chat last night. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I do have Todd's wonderful photos of the 6-foot model, so I'll just have to pull them up and take a look and see. Which, I mean, I could do that right now. I could just go ahead and do that right now. That way you get to see them as well. Let me just pull them up, and then I will pop that over onto the stream. Let's see. Star drive detail. Let me see. Okay, I need a there's probably a better picture for me to look at than the one I pulled up immediately. Okay, so let me switch over to this, and you can already see that there are some similar to the saucer rim. Oh, by the way, I just love how they put tape over these sections and painted the tape. It's probably like vinyl tape or something like that. There's a bunch of areas. Okay, yeah. So I think they may have added these windows, these upper ones, on the kit, but then they're the lower ones that clearly aren't here. So I think Too Easy is that Eric, because I think Too Easy says that looks really good. Yeah, he got some really good photos. The damage. And there's the windows on the pylon. Wouldn't you just love to have your office right here on the pylon? I mean, it's got to be somebody's office. Oh, there's the damage, just done by adding tape detail. There's the windows that they forgot to unmask. These are fun windows too. Oh yeah, I remember this this damage on the Christie's auction photos too. Man. Yeah, but okay, so there's some good reference shots. Look at how bad some of the edge work is here. But I mean, this model had been around for quite some time, so. All right, so we will have to take these pictures into account when dealing with it. Oh, okay. I am referencing this photo because this is going to be a good photo to send to Keith for getting this part remodeled. Because the part that comes in the kit does not look like that. So this is Star Drive -24.jpg. I'm just going to mark it as torpedo aft, so I know what picture to send to Keith over at Cosmic Scale Models. Oh, this is a good picture. This is a good picture of those windows. Okay, I'm liking this. There's some good locations that we don't generally get to see detail of. Thank you, Todd, for getting these really good pictures. It's interesting, the coloring in here. So it's like a red, like a dark red plum kind of coloring when this is off, and there's a bit of a black edging around. I noticed that earlier on some of the other photos, so I'm going to have to try to reproduce that as much as possible. I do like paying attention to the coloring of things when the lights are off, because, well, the lights are off on the model majority of the time, right? So, all right. I could send him this picture as well. So I also want dash 33. Dash 33. This is dash 37. Eric says that looks really good. Dash asks, what was that made of? I think it was a fiberglass cast, if I'm not mistaken, but there's other people that know better than I do. Yeah, it is amazing how close he got to the model, and some of these amazing pictures he got. I mean, like, look at this. They were a little bit messy in their detailing here on the back. It goes like nicely curved down, then like whoop, like somebody slipped with the mask or something there. And Dash indicates that this is a disposal for waste. Yeah, possibly. No, photon torpedo launcher. That's where the pew pews come from, which I mean could ultimately sound very similar to what Dash was insinuating anyway. All right. I was about to start putting masks down, but I just want to kind of check to see if there's any better reference shots here for me. I mean, there are some real... That's cool. There are some really good shots of things on there, and I think that's the end of the pictures on the secondary hull. All right, back to the mask. And Dash says, wasn't this model after a manta ray? No idea, no clue. I'm not sure what their inspiration for it was. I do know that Michael Westmore used to take inspiration from like wildlife magazines and stuff like that when designing the aliens. But I don't know about the ship. That's interesting. These windows over here are a touch longer. Interesting. I'm going to leave those for now. And decide what I want to do about those after I get the rest of these masks on. I was talking to Wayne at Motion Picture Miniatures today, and the sheer amount of vinyl that it's going to take him to print the Aztec masking set for this thing is going to be ridiculous. So I hate to think how much he's going to have to charge for the Aztec masking set for this, just because of how much material is going to go into the thing. But I am getting 2 sets to do the 2 Ds. Darren Peters is here. He says, "Hi Andrew, always great to watch and hear you work. Is it possible to zoom in on the overhead to see the masks being applied?" Let me see what I can do here. I don't know how clear it's going to be for you. Is that any good? Anyone else getting ads about every 3 minutes? Oh no. That should not be happening. Sorry, Eric, if that's happening. I will have to check the settings, but it's not supposed to be doing that. Which, to be honest, might just be my ignorance on live stream monetization. Because yeah, you should not be getting ads bothering you anywhere near that much. I mean, I don't really have a choice on YouTube putting ads in, and I'd rather that they be not disruptive to your viewing of the stream. So I will actually, and so I don't forget, I'm going to mark that down on the paper here. Check frequency of live stream ads settings. Yeah, because I'll have to figure out really how to dial that in, because that should not be happening on your phone. Yeah, I don't know, because like you don't want to be watching and then be cut to an ad every 5 minutes. I mean, unless the Ferengi have taken over YouTube, I don't know. So Darren Peters says, better than before. Okay, glad that works. And then he also says, Andrew, so I take it the window masks fit well, not popping back out. Yeah, well, they won't pop back out because the solar res is flush to the surface, and we'll develop a little bit of a window ledge through paint. So, but they seem to be, my measurements seem to have worked well. I didn't mess up. And because there's always a chance that my measurements aren't quite accurate, and I end up having to go back into the software and adjust the masks and recut them. But I've done pretty well on any of the window masks that I have cut out on this kit so far. They've pretty much fit exactly as measured. The only area where I run into problems is say like on the upper saucer, where the windows get narrower. They get narrower around the sides of the saucer. So I ended up just going back into the cutting software and did up a set with 3 different widths, so I could just choose whichever one fit best on the particular window at the time. Welcome Yvang to the stream. Yvang asks, does anyone sell the window masks for this kit? Well, I know Lou is doing window masks. I don't know if he's doing any other masks, but I know that he's doing window masks for it. I do not know if Wayne is including window masks in the motion picture miniatures Aztecing mask set or not. That's something I should probably ask him. I just haven't asked because I don't need them, but that would be a good question just to know the answer to for anybody inquiring. But I don't need them because I've got the Cameo here in the shop, and I can I can just do up window masks as needed. I'm not doing any complicated masks, but I can cut rectangles 7 days of the week, no problem. And my Cameo does not do the rounded tops and bottoms very well, but you really don't see the rounded top and bottom much on the studio model anyways, so I'm just going with the rectangled windows because they cut so much more reliably. Now, whatever machine Lou is using, I know he has a much higher end machine he uses, and I think he's actually able to cut those rounded windows at this size, but I am not able to do that. But again, you don't really see that. You obviously see the inside on the sets because they made those very much rounded, but they're not anywhere near as pronounced on the exterior of the studio model. So, and it's the exterior of the studio model that I am looking to try to reproduce as much as possible, so that is my guideline. I'm not sure what Eric was meaning there. Lol as break. Yvang asks, did you buy the lighting kit from Helios or are you doing your own? I did not buy the lighting kit from Helios. I have two options. Either the Arduino setup that Danny is similar to what Danny's doing for my Enterprise E's, or the inner lighting system, because I did buy two kits of the inner lighting system, and oh, ad break, got it. Is it just you, Eric, who is experiencing that issue, or are other people getting pestered by ads too? I don't think I can turn them off altogether, but I should be able to do something about the frequency if it is an issue. Or is it just an issue for one person? Because I'm not sure what I can do about it if it's just an issue for one person. But if everybody's experiencing it, I will research how to fix that. Because I think it only gives you options of like balanced or frequent or stuff like that. And I think it's on just the default balanced. So I can look into that for the next stream. So what I was saying was I've got two options. I can do Danny's Arduino, or I can do the inner lighting kit. And I'm going to have to make that decision pretty soon. But I will say this. If I want to have, and I don't know if Danny's here or not, because I haven't said this yet, but if I want the D, oh, Ken says, I have had that ad problem on your stream before, but it's not an issue for me tonight. Okay, I will look into that because I don't want it to be an issue. It is honestly not worth an issue for viewers. I will look into that. But what I was saying is, if I want this to be on display at Wonderfest and not in the contest room, then I do have an opportunity, if it is using the Inner Light system, to have it at the Inner Light booth on display, which is very, very... Oh, these ones are a little bit taller too. So there are some variations in the sizing of these windows. So yeah, so if I want to take that offer of a place to host this thing at Wonderfest, then certainly need to have ad break. Really? Give me a moment. Okay, there's only 3 settings, and it was on what they call balanced, but I've made an adjustment, so let me know if this is better, okay? Let me know if it's better moving forward, because I don't want it to be a I don't want it to be overbearing for you guys. Okay. Oh, it was an ad for Rice Krispie Squares? I love Rice Krispie Squares. Unfortunately, Rice Krispie Squares don't like me. There's been so many times where, like, we've made Rice Krispie Squares for the kids or something like that, and I end up eating Rice Krispie Squares because I've always loved Rice Krispie Squares, and then my stomach gets all acidy and acid refluxy and stuff like that, and then I remember why I shouldn't eat Rice Krispie Squares. Actually, one of my biggest dessert temptation things, which of course I'm talking about because I'm trying to Stamps 45 says, it's not, here it is. Windows are a pain. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. Windows are a pain. What was I saying? Yeah, I need to drop about 50 pounds. So my goal is to drop those 50 pounds by Christmas, which works out to be about half a pound a day. And, but something that will be a huge temptation if it comes around are, and I don't know if you've ever had these, but they are peanut butter butterscotch marshmallow squares. And those are the hardest things for me to resist. I don't know what it is. They are so good. The other thing that's going to be really hard for me to resist is eating the Halloween candy at Halloween. We set up it rains so often on Halloween here. And we have a table set up in our driveway every year. And we do, so we set up a table and generally a tent on our driveway because it so frequently rains on Halloween. And then we give out full-size treats. So that includes, so we usually do the king-size Reese peanut butter cups that have the Reese's Pieces inside, and those are just devastatingly good. So I'm going to have to resist the temptation to chow down on a couple packs of those, and then we do Mars bars because they are free of of all nuts and stuff, that stuff, and then we do like Sour Patch Kids or Cherry Blasters because they're free of the top 8 or top 10 allergens, so that we try to have something that's available for all levels of allergies, so that everybody gets to have something. And then we usually have a non-edible treat as well, but we do like the full size candy bars. And then what we also do is we have big thermal jugs that I borrow from work, like big huge thermal beverage dispensers, and we do up hot chocolate, both adult temperature and kid temperature, which is something we started last year. We've been doing this. This will be the 9th year that we do this, because it's the 9th Halloween we've been in our house. And yeah, Halloween in snowsuits, that's definitely something that happens around here too. If it's not raining, it's snowing on Halloween. So so we do hot chocolate, we do adult temperature hot chocolate, and then we do kid temperature hot chocolate. And then we also do we make up some Starbucks coffee as well to have. And so we give out hot coffee and hot chocolate. The coffee is mostly for the adults, especially when it's raining and cold, because it's always cold and miserable. The parents really appreciate having a hot beverage. And then we have people that specifically come to our driveway because we've done it for so many years now. And so we have people who've moved away from the neighborhood coming back into the neighborhood just to stop at our driveway and get their hot chocolate, coffee, and full-size treats. So that's cool. But I'm gonna have to really be disciplined and not chow down on all those treats that are right in front of me when I'm sitting out at the table underneath the tent for several hours on Halloween night. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Homemade Rice Krispie Squares, fine. Store-bought is 100% acid reflux. Yeah, well, 100% acid reflux for me, no matter what. It's worse if I eat them in the evening. It's like turkey. I can't eat turkey in the evening anymore because, actually, I can't eat turkey at all anymore because it just does a number on me, and I am paying for it all night long with the acid and stuff like that. So when Thanksgiving comes around, which we're only a month away from, I always have to get like a steak or something to cook up because the family has turkey, and then I do up a steak on the barbecue. And fortunately, because it's like, I think it's like October 13th this year, so we shouldn't have any snow, which makes barbecuing so much easier. I mean, our barbecue season here in our house, the barbecue season runs from January 1st to December 31st. I will go out, shovel a path to the barbecue, shovel off the barbecue, and barbecue with like there'll be like a foot or two of snow on top of the barbecue, and I'll have to like clean it all off and stuff like that. But we barbecue year round, so I'll do up a steak. The rest of the family will have a barbecue. What's interesting is that the realtor who we used when we bought our house, every year at Thanksgiving, he gives all of his previous clients a free fresh turkey. And that's a way for him to stay connected to all of his clients. And so every year we go and we see him at the butcher shop, and we get our free fresh turkey. So we can't not have turkey at Thanksgiving. So I just do up the steak on the barbecue. And then I'll just have to be cautious of not partaking of all the wonderful and lovely pies and treats and stuff like that. Because it's those holidays that really kind of get you off track with that stuff. So let's see. As a kid, my dad made Rice Krispie squares that were rock hard. You had to start at the corner and begin gnawing. I prefer a nice solid Rice Krispie square than a mushy Rice Krispie square. That is for sure. And my hand just turned the light bar off here. I'll turn it off while I'm reading the chat. Actually, let me actually get fully caught up on the chat here. So, we'll do this for a moment. Eric says, I think we took the kids trick-or-treating in the snow way more than nice evenings. Yeah, certainly around here that's the thing. And Ken says, I remember doing Halloween in snowsuits. Yeah, you kind of have to have, you almost have to have a school costume and something that'll fit a snowsuit under a costume around here. Yvang says, I have a one for you, one for me policy at Halloween when it comes to almond joys. Yeah. Eric says, we live on a hill, so too many kids' parents don't stop by, so we do full-size candy bars to those that do trick-or-treat. Yvang says, last fall I learned a new way to make s'mores, mini peanut butter cups, dip in marshmallow cream, toast over fire, eat on a graham cracker. Yeah, that sounds really good. Seriously? Okay. I don't know. I've reduced it down as much as they will allow. And if you can do me a favor and just kind of keep track of for a little bit, keep track of how often they are, because I want to know that, because I don't want that to be an issue. I also get ads that only cover the chat window. Okay, interesting. For me, I want to make sure that they're not like fully blocking your ability to watch the stream with ads. That's just not enjoyable for anyone. All right, caught up on stream. That's not what I meant to say. I meant to say caught up on chat. All right. And we've only got a few minutes left to the stream because I try to be out of here by 11. Although with technical difficulties, I was on a few minutes late, so I will stay on. A few minutes late. I think a 2-hour stream is great, especially since I've got an early start in the morning. This nav light here was the biggest pain to get in because of the big resin block that's in there. That was fun to get through. The resin block's a little different on the other one, and I might need to make some adjustments to it. I actually the second one is the second round of kits, and angle's hard, but you might be able to see that there's holes here, and part of that resin block is actually hollow, whereas this one is solid. And because of getting the metal rod in here to help support that arm, because I don't want to leave it unsupported, the resin arm unsupported, it's really important to be able to put the rod down in there. So I will probably backfill this with resin. I'm also probably going to backfill the arm with resin. I was originally planning on backfilling just the lower section of the arm, probably about 3 or 4 centimeters up from where it connects into the resin block here, and allow it to also go down and lock the metal rod, the square tube in there, the brass tube. But with talking with Hagen Miller, we were chatting some stuff back and forth and just tossing ideas around. I think I might just backfill the majority of the resin arm with resin because it's hollow, just to give it, so between the brass tube and the backfill with resin, just make sure that it is as secure as possible. It'll add a little bit of weight to it, but I think for the long term it will be a better solution. All right, so I will stay on for a few more minutes, probably about 10 more minutes. Eric says, I still love that model box top wall you have. Yeah, it's hi, I'm down here. Could do like hand puppets or something. Yeah, it works out really well for my YouTube videos and stuff like that. Plus, it gives it otherwise it's a white wall, and then you've got the let me just get out of the way here. You've got the Enterprise D panel in there. That was done by John over at Captain's Dry Dock, and actually won that in his contest. Won the poster, so I got the poster from him and then had it put onto a board. So had it board mounted, and it's now kind of the central portion of that wall. Stamps 45 says, what's the company that makes those very big Star Trek models? Helios? Yeah, it's Helios that's made this 650 scale Enterprise D. I just saw a video of their 350 scale Excelsior prototype today. They've definitely stepped up their game on it. There's a lot of issues with the Enterprise D kit that it looks like they have solved rather well on it. Eric says, another ad 3 minutes, it seems. That should not be happening. Is anybody else having ads every 3 minutes other than Eric and Ken? It's also possible that because I made those adjustments while I was streaming, that they don't actually go into effect on this stream. I'm not sure how that works, so might not know until the next stream if those changes have been effective, but I definitely want to get that sourced out. Get that figured out, because I don't want that being a problem. I don't want ads overly frequently. Periodically is fine, but constant interruptions is not good for anybody. But yeah, the 350 Helios Excelsior kit. They also make it in a couple smaller scales. They make a 650 of it and something else. And but it looks like they've really stepped up their game with that kit. It's got a full metal armature. Lots of really good stuff going on with it from what I can see. So I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to get it when it becomes available. That would be kind of a I get it while it's available and hope I get a client for it kind of a deal. That mask was being a pain. Interesting. You previously never got a single ad on my video. There's gotta be something wrong with your app or something like that tonight, because if you've never had problems before and you're having like a nightmare with it tonight, Ken says mine is not too bad tonight, not like Eric. Yeah. Stamps got an ad for Marshmallow. No, okay, nope. Apparently he's just kidding. So So I will keep an eye on that, and I will try to remember next week to poll the audience to see how it is going for them ad wise. I mean, putting ads in videos that are videos is one thing, because the video just picks up again once the ad is done, but ads on live streams are a pain because you're missing content if it's doing that. And I definitely don't like that at all. I have been tempted, and I just mean tempted because I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but I have been tempted. Let's see. Dash says I haven't had a single ad on my and he's on his PC. That's good to know. Okay. Good to know. So it seems that people are having vastly different experiences. I have been tempted. I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but I've been tempted to dual stream when I stream. So, because my streaming software can stream up to 3 different locations. So I'm tempted to give Twitch a go as a secondary streaming platform. Obviously my priority would still be YouTube, but if I can get more get access to a different audience by multi-streaming both on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time, I think that might be useful, because then it would direct traffic to my YouTube channel for my regular video updates. So I don't know, I might give it a try. I mean, obviously people who already know about my channel on YouTube will watch me on YouTube, but I'm thinking there might be people who don't do the YouTube live stream thing, who might be surfing Twitch and might find me there, and might turn into new YouTube subscribers. So great. Stamps, thank you for joining. Hope you have a good night. Thank you for spending some time on the stream tonight. That's greatly appreciated, everybody who spends some time with me while I'm getting work done here on Saturday night. So thank you, Stamps, and hopefully we'll see you again. Andrew, plus we could use our free Twitch Prime sub in your channel. Yeah, that would be cool. I have no idea about the ins and outs of monetization on Twitch. I have no idea what that looks like, but I mean, that would be something to research and look into. I mean, the chat side of things, I can have all the chat come into the application that vMix has for chat integrations, and it'll show me whether it's YouTube or Twitch the chat's coming from, so I don't have to be monitoring different screens. So that's already something I have the ability to do. So I figure, it might not be a bad thing to look into, and it's just a matter of me spending the time necessary to work it out. These are windows that are bigger, taller, so I'm going to leave those. Forgot about that. And if you use your Twitch Prime to subscribe, because their subscriptions are a money thing, you don't get ads. But I think if you use YouTube Premium, you don't get ads either. But I've never looked at that because I don't want to pay to use YouTube. I'm happy with YouTube paying me now, but I don't want to have to pay to use YouTube. So I will sit through ads. if I'm watching a video and I have no connection to the YouTuber who's doing the video, or I'm not subscribed, or like it's just I'm checking something out, I will skip ads when skip comes up. But if it's a YouTuber who I enjoy watching regularly, and who I'm subscribed to, or I know personally, or some stuff like that, I will sit and let every single ad run without skipping, so that I don't risk them not getting credit for the ad. And I don't mind doing that. Wow. Eric says he thinks premium is $20 in the US. Yeah, that's I will sit through the ads. Thank you very much. No, I will definitely sit through the ads. And I don't super chat often, but there is the rare occasion where either I want to support the YouTuber, or I want to make sure that they see a comment because it's like super important in my mind or something like that. But I don't often do the super chat thing. Here we go. The way I'm asking actually goes quite quickly once you get into a rhythm of it, which is a good thing because there's a whole pile of windows on this thing. I might just have enough masks on this line to finish this up. Don't quote me on that, but it's gonna be close either way. The only time I hate ads is when you get the ads that are 30 minutes or longer, that if you don't hit skip, it just keeps going and going and going. A pain when your hands are busy modeling or away from the device. Yeah. I haven't gotten those type of ads recently, but yeah, I certainly don't let those play out. I will skip those right away, but if they're normal ads that have a skip and they're not too long, I do try to. If it's a content creator that I would want to support, then I will make sure that I let them run. Has anybody else been getting frequent ads tonight who hasn't said anything yet? Or is it just Eric's app? I should be ending now, but I think I want to try to get the last of these masks on here before I go. And I'll have to make some slightly longer ones for these windows up here. I love having this desk here because I can get right up close to the work. The only problem is is because of the way that it is assembled. When I'm doing work directly on it like I am, like resting my elbows on and leaning on it and stuff, it creaks. It makes a creaking noise. I don't know if you can hear the creaking noise on cam, on stream, but it's mildly annoying to me here in the shop. Okay, that's good to know, Eric. Eric says no ads so far after an app reset. Okay, good to know. Yeah, maybe it was just your app being problematic. Is it an Apple or an Android? And Ken says, fingers crossed. Apple. Okay. I do find I get apps glitching out on me from time to time on my iPhone, and I have to, do the whole go to the multitask and swipe it out and restart the app kind of a deal. Two more to go. I mean, minus the windows that I need slightly longer masks for. Oh, no. I've got 3 more up here. They're just hard to see because they don't actually go through. They're under the resin block. Quick question before I wrap things up. Has the face cam been better quality tonight? Has it stayed in focus? Has it looked better? So for those of you who've been on my stream previously, has it looked better? All right, last mask on for tonight. Let's see. Eric says, I've noticed I get more ads on iPhone and iPad than I do on Apple TV. And also says, seems more stable picture-wise. Good. Ken says, I saw an ad for the iPhone 16. Wow, I'm still using an iPhone 6. I have an iPhone 6 down here in the shop, but it will no longer power on. I was kind of wondering if I could use it as a webcam, but it will not be powered off. It will not power on anymore. I think it's just been shut down so long that it just won't start up ever again. And of course, Eric got an ad. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining me. We, just to recap what I was able to do, got the bottom saucer of the second D prepped for adhesion promoter and primer. Hopefully those will go on tomorrow. And got masks made and cut and applied for the majority of the windows on the secondary hull. So I am happy with the progress that I was able to get done here on the live stream tonight. So Thank you for joining me. If you've enjoyed the stream, make sure that you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, if you're not subscribed yet, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. You'll make me very happy if you do. But for now, my name is Andrew, and this has been Canadian Starships. Have a great evening, everyone.